Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. So before we get underway, everyone, let me say to everyone that was asking for the link from BGS last stream, we will be putting that up once my comments populate. I wasn't able to click the link during the live stream, so now I have to wait for the comments to populate, the live comments to populate on the replay, so that I can post it in the description box for you guys. So for all of you that were part of last night's live stream, or that was, well, actually in the comments for last night's live stream, where we were speaking about Miss Foster again. Um, so once it populates, y'all will be able to go back to the last night's live stream. And and by the way, last night's live stream, get it out, Z, was about not learning from the history of Pauli Murray, and that's what we were speaking about yesterday, right? So it will be going in the description box. Now on to but what you thought. So Mr. Z, you know, I was hesitant to predict anything too much. Um, I do recall FD predicting that Kamala was going to win. Um, I do recall Miss Foster speaking very being with lecturing us, better yet, and it's and essentially saying that we deserve what we get for all the black men that did not vote for Kamala. Um, yeah, and she actually wished the worst on us. Don't worry, I'm going. We it's gonna go in the archive. We might be reviewing that comment or those comments in particular. So don't worry about it, y'all. It's coming. Um, and Mr. Z is a bit late. I'm running late. I have a couple of errands to run. Number one, but number two, um, I was listening to the left have meltdowns. Um, I want everyone to understand, all my leftist brothers, Mr. Z is not leaning reactionary. That's just not going to happen. I'm not going to be one of these people that vote to the right um, to spite the left. That's not going to happen because of my convictions. Shout out to my convictions. Um, shout out to Toya, because every time I say it now, I think about Usher. These are my confessions. Um, but so the left is admitting now that they ran a horrible candidate. I'm more sympathetic to Ole's take, even though I know it was informed by a bunch of rage and anger, and I get it. Ole had a damn meltdown and recorded herself damn near having a meltdown. But I think her reading, because Mr. Z is a bit cynical, a lot cynical, I think her reading was pretty accurate on what America is. Um, I want to caution black men, even the Anton Daniels of the world, the Angry Mans of the world, the Obsidians of the world, to be careful. Especially for the Antons of the world and the Angry Man. I'm not gonna put Obsidian in this what I'm about to say. What I fully expect is, if and when JD Vance and Donald Trump do things that step on black men's toes, I fully expect the Antons and the Angry Mans of the world to make excuses about it. I fully expect them to do the, well, that's why you should have started business. That's why you should have been entrepreneurial. That's why you should have climbed up the ladder. That's why you should have been alpha. I fully expect that. I'm not gonna put Obsidian in there because I think Obsidian has a better sense of shame. I said it. Yes, I did, Anton. Um, and I think he appreciates anti-blackness in a way that even that he wouldn't say that. I don't think Angry Man, and I definitely don't think Anton are those people, right? I think Anton has a kumbaya, we are the world, hold hands with white man spirit that clouds everything that would apologies y'all that would be beneficial for the masses of black people. Let's continue. Um, yeah, no, I think we have to be honest about what this is. Is this a mandate? Yeah, yes, it is. So shout out to Black Uru. Me and Black Uru had this conversation, a couple of months ago, I want to say, where we spoke on if Donald Trump was to not, if it wasn't just Donald Trump to win, but it was the House and possibly the Senate, what that would mean for Kamala, and that sweep means a lot, right? That sweep means a lot. I think the left has a lot of soul searching to do. I'm almost betting that the left is going to take the wrong lesson from this. What is that, Z? They're going to think you should go even further right. They don't realize, and I think I might have said this last night. Shout out to Art New Style. My phone kept on overheating. That's why I couldn't stay on too long. I think I said this last night. This is the ghost of Bernie past. I definitely want to say I said this to Ms. Z last night. This is the ghost of Bernie past. Y'all didn't appreciate the anti-establishment time that we're in, and y'all still don't fully appreciate it. You ran Hillary Clinton in 2016. She got mopped. You ran Joe Biden. He only won because white men were punishing Trump for COVID. And then you ran a prosecutor in Kamala Harris in 2024 with only a few months to try to push her onto the country. And they didn't like her from 2020. I don't think it was wise. Clearly it wasn't. Now we have evidence of that. And I think that people don't appreciate the era of spite. I mentioned this book a couple of times, written by Pinkash Mishra, Age of Anger. And it speaks about essentially neoliberalism and its discontents, which is a book written by Francis Fukuyama, literally called Liberalism and its Discontents. And it speaks about the people that have, for the most part, lost over the past 40 some odd years with neoliberalism. And it speaks to their anger and their rage. And it speaks to the people that have won, the Kim Fosters of the world, the FD signifiers of the world, don't fully appreciate the rage, the anger, the resentment at their snarky, condescending ass ways, and how people would get at them and spite them and maybe even hurt themselves to get at the foreign man in the foreign lands, the conscious Lees, the Professor Odis. Now, is this spite and get back sometimes dangerous for the same people that exhibit it? Absolutely. But they're going to do it anyway. Right? They're going to do it anyway. Huh? So I think, and shout out to Trell, and Trell says, both parties have made some mistakes over the past 20 years. Neither has really invested in producing viable candidates. True. And I think the right, they went at Trump in 2016. They realized, oh, he's that dude. And they fell in line. Whereas the Democrats, because of their corporate donors, they still think this is 92 and you're running against Bill Clinton, you're running Bill Clinton, better yet. So they double down on neoliberal candidates, right? They double down on establishment candidates. They did not run the small hat Democratic Socialist. Okay, understandable. And here we are now in 2024. It is the ghost of Bernie past. Number one. Number two, I want to say to a Miss Foster, what country do you live in? You put so much stock on unmarried white women, and we're still going to go through the numbers. Mr. Z is waiting for all the numbers to come out so we can see what who unmarried people what they voted, married people what they voted, white folks what they voted, white women, white men, black women. We're gonna wait. We're gonna go through the numbers. Expect a monologue on this and a live stream on this in the upcoming days, maybe by the week's end, if not next week. When we finally get to see how these numbers worked or didn't. But we have a number of people that live on the Northeast, or live in the Northeast, live in the West Coast, or they live in Chicago or DC, the DMV area, and they really think that these places are America. They're not. It's not. And so they continuously misread the quote unquote progress that America has made over the past half century or so. Right? Number one. Number two, I don't want the brothers on the right to misread this. The hierarchy that JD Vance wants to reestablish, this borderline um, monarchy that he wants to implement, has nothing to do with you. I want to stress this. Has nothing to do with you. Will they have one or two um will they have one or two figurehead black men there? Yes. Wall dressing. Um yes, but this is not about you. This is about white men, really rich, um educated, well resourced. And when I say resources, I'm not just speaking about money. That's why I said rich and well resourced. White men reestablishing themselves. Meet the new me, same as the old me. I don't want y'all to get y'all heart broken when y'all realize when they said man, they didn't include you. They're not speaking about you, right? I'm just saying. Just shout out to Dusty. Exactly. Token Negroes, right? Yeah. I don't want the brothers to get their heart broken when they realize that they wasn't talking about you. Um. So Donald Trump, the first president in what over a century to not be reelected consecutively, but have a gap in winning, right? In his election. Um. Yeah. So Mr. Z is not surprised by this. Um, I didn't predict it. What I'm saying I didn't predict it is like I didn't make a prediction. Um, but yeah, I'm not surprised by this. This shouldn't be and this by the way, this shouldn't come as too much of a surprise to anyone. Um, if you have a good reading on America and American history. Oh, that no, it wasn't. That was the prediction from me and Black Uru. It wasn't the Senate and the House, it was the popular vote. It was the popular vote. So what we're seeing right now is Donald J. Trump might have been the first Republican to win the popular vote in what, a couple decades? In a couple decades. Dear leftist American citizens, lefties, y'all not reading America correctly. Yeah, America is a racist, patriarchal, capitalist. Da, da, da. Yeah, but do you really understand what that means? Like you say it, but do you know what it means? What effectively on the ground that means? Let's say, for argument's sake, excuse me, I give you that. You're right. What does that mean for elections, for women, for quote unquote minority groups, for black people, for black men? Oh, I forgot. Y'all not really thinking about black men. Y'all really don't appreciate how many folks were going to vote for Donald Trump to spite you. Huh? How many Americans were going to vote for Donald Trump because they were tired of the Democrats playing in their face? I hear Ole, I hear you. I hear you, Ole. I hear the rage. I hear it. I get it. Righteous anger. I get it. I get it. And Ole wasn't necessarily the one lecturing at black men. I'll give her that. She wasn't. She didn't take glee in watching black men's misfortune. She didn't wish ill upon black men, unlike a Kim Foster, right? I get it. You didn't hear her constantly saying, "I'm gonna tap down my misandry. I'm gonna tap down my misandry." Because Ole is chunky, but Negro's still trying to pipe. Anyway, I said it. I said it. Right. And she don't have a ugly girl complex, so she don't dance on the misfortune of black men. Shout out to you, Miss Foster. So I get the anger and the rage, and so yes, she wasn't lecturing black men. All the rest of you, though, everyone from a Miss Foster to a Sunny Hostin to a Barack Obama, President Barack Obama, a Miss Formal First Lady Michelle Obama, to a Magic Johnson. Yeah, about that. We already spoke about culture being downstream from politics. You don't appreciate how much until we're here. Watch your mouth. It's that simple, right? Calling who garbage, not smart, right? I'm Waffle says, "Yo, wasn't Olay the lady on Godfrey's channel a little while ago?" Yes, that Olay. That's the Olay, right? Um, hmm. So I wanted to come to y'all with this because I think it's time for us to really have a sit down, everyone next to the fire, and reimagine what you thought. I don't think this is going to be a cakewalk for anybody, especially quote unquote marginalized groups. Um, I do see this as white men reestablishing themselves or attempting to. I don't want people to misread this and think that this is going to be a plus for them, especially if it's not going to be a plus for you. Um, and it is spite. I would argue Donald Trump's numbers might have gone up a little bit across the board outside of maybe liberal white women or more progressive white women. But I said this last night on Art's channel. It's just white men reestablishing themselves because they punished Donald Trump for COVID in 2020, and then they just came back and voted for him in 2024. And the Democrats didn't know how to speak to black people, black men nice, to form that quote unquote blue wall. What blue wall if you ain't talking to black men nice? Talk to me nice. If you ain't talking to black men nice, if black men ain't making this cool, then what are you doing? What blue wall? Black men are the blue wall. Ooh, goddamn, Z. Black men are the blue wall. Say it again, Z. Black men are the blue wall. What blue wall? What blue wall? Right? Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. I'm hearing I'm hearing everyone talking about this blue wall. What blue wall? If you're not doing black men's bidding, if you're not giving black men something to vote for, well, not vote against, vote for. Well, Trump, I said vote for. What blue wall? So I expect the numbers once again for black men to hover around 79 to like 83-ish%, something like that, maybe 78 to like 83-ish%. Something like that. It could have dipped down to 75%, but let's see. I don't want the internet to, and us that are chronically online, Mr. Z speaking about himself, to over index on what we think online. So once again, that's why I'm putting the numbers somewhere between probably like 78-ish percent, possibly 77, but 78-ish percent to like 83-ish percent of black men that voted for Kamala Harris. With that, continuing everyone, with that, it could have been higher if y'all was speaking black men's language, right? Just saying, right? I don't. I'm going to continue to stress this. I don't want people to misread Donald Trump winning. That's on the left and the right because the left is going to try. The left is going to take the wrong reading from this. I'm almost certain of this. I'm not 100%. Almost certain of this. So we already know a Bernie is too old. Y'all need another leftist, a real leftist. But Z, what is moving to the right? You can't be imitation Republican, right? Nobody's going for Republican light. and you're not gonna outright the right, right? Hmm. And better use says Z. When do they ever read ish right? Say that, huh? Atrix says so. So we aren't getting 20K business loans. Um, let's see, right? I know Miss Harris was proposing this. But let's see where Mr. Vance and Mr. Trump align on this, right? Huh. Low-key darkness is don't need to be nice, just be respectful. No, I said it for a reason, right? Hip hop slang, talk to me nice, right? But yeah, no, talk to me nice. The lecturing, the condescending tone, the mommying, right? The wishing ill. Where did that get you? Y'all knew better than to talk to white men crazy, right? Kamala didn't just lose. It's looking like she lost the popular vote also, right? It's looking like do y'all understand what for the left to lose the popular vote? Do you understand what a big middle finger that is? And even if she didn't lose the popular vote, let's say she wins the popular vote by a couple of points. That's not eh, at least the left is supposed to win the popular vote. So yeah, you lost the electoral college. In other words, Kamala did worse than Hillary because Hillary still won the popular vote by some two to some odd 3 million votes. By the way, Joe Biden only won the election by less than 50,000 votes, something like that. Less than 50,000 votes, y'all. It's huh. Dear left, you not addressing people's concerns and advertising it in neon lights and advertising your wins in neon lights is what's causing the reactionary issue that you have now, where disaffected leftists are going to the right or staying home, to be frank with you, or staying home, right? And so, yeah, y'all scared about Project 2025 and JD Vance and what's the name of his philosopher friend, right? His face is there, but I can't remember the name that I told y'all about. Yarvin. There we go, right? And Peter Thiel and Elon Musk. Yeah, y'all afraid. Y'all should be deathly afraid. Even Mr. Z's a little scared. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Right? Yeah, y'all should be scared of Yarvin. Mortified of JD Vance. Yeah, y'all better be scared because the red pill white boy is a heartbeat away from being president. Oh, leftist white women. Ooh, I know you scared. Did y'all even get out of bed this morning? Thank you. Name it. PayPal Mafia is in the White House now. Y'all got Peter Thiel and Elon Musk, and they're fucking. Ooh, Mr. Z. The word came out. The word. F it. We'll do it live. The word came out, y'all. Right? Y'all got Peter Thiel and Elon Musk um in the White House right now, or if not in the White House, because we don't know if Trump is going to go through with it and really appoint Elon. But yeah, and Elon feels certain ways about the regulatory system. Oh yeah, y'all should be scared. But this is the ghost of Bernie past, huh? This is the ghost of Bernie past. Y'all misread history, and y'all continue to do it over and over and over again. And here we are. Now what? Huh? Not only that, but Trump will make sure to appoint to cabinets people that have issues with that particular cabinet. And that's going to be horrific to watch. Huh? And Namer says, I'm aware that Teal is a US citizen, but Musk as well. No, Musk is from South Africa, right? But I think he might be naturalized. I think yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he is, number one. Number two, I don't know if that affects your cabinet positions. I know you can't be president or VP, but I don't think I'm not 100% sure, and somebody correct Z, of that affects cabinet positions, right? Yeah, right. Betsy DeVos, right? Yeah. And I don't know if she's going to come back for education secretary, et cetera, right? Exactly, Trell, exactly. Put um put Betsy DeVos as education secretary. That was smart. Not right. So this is going to be. I'm saying this now. Y'all hold on to y'all hats. Yes, even you brothers that voted for Donald Trump, y'all hold on to y'all hats. Right. Kanguru, that's hysterical. Kanguru says Elon is a white tether. Hysterical, accurate. Right. Huh. Oh, Teal is German but immigrated to the US as a child. Okay. Okay. All right. So I really I think, especially with a Peter Thiel, I think you have a person that knows how to weaponize this U.S. government in a way. Ooh, this. Hold on to your hats. Hold on to your hats. Oh man, and you're dealing with Trump 2.0. He didn't know what he was doing. When he first got in. This is Trump 8 years later. Ooh, right. This is different, y'all. Y'all hold on to y'all hats. I'm telling y'all now. But I suspect even the people that gleefully voted for Trump may not be so gleeful after this is done, or they're gonna have a lot of explaining to do. I'm calling it now. I told y'all Mr. Z did not vote for Trump or Kamala, right? Miss Harris or Mr. Trump, because I didn't, right? So I'm not misreading this, but I suspect a lot of people will, right? Only logical says Florida is always red. I called Florida from forever ago. I knew Florida was gonna go red. There was no way Florida was gonna go blue. Not, especially not with Trump, right? Possibly a um, different candidates, but not Trump. No, right? Huh. And compassionate says black men already getting everything we get out of the gravel under the mud. Ain't like black boys reading scores can get any lower at this point. At this point, yeah. And global free agent says I've voted, but for neither myself. See, right? Conguru, this is what I'm saying, actually, and thank you for saying this. This is what I'm saying, right? And Conguru says this administration is going to be the don't meet your heroes moment, the quote unquote don't meet your heroes moment for white men and guys like Anton. No, I think the Antons and the Angry Mans and whatnot, I really think they're gonna do the no, the real issue is you Negroes ain't starting businesses, and the real issue is you Negroes ain't moving like this, and the real issue is I think that's what they're gonna do. I don't think look, unless you on some Diddy type thing, I think when you have money and power, you get to shield yourself from misreading things, from um being inaccurate, especially if it's not too severe and it doesn't affect your life like immediately. Yeah, no, I really think that's what we're gonna see. I think the the way you're reading Anton and whatnot, I agree with you. I just think those people get to say, or whatever issue that comes up with black people, they get to play it down, say it's not race. I'm gonna be very careful on the blaming single baby mothers thing for the next 4 years, because I'm gonna make this argument. I think you're gonna see a lot of people double down on some of this rhetoric, and that ain't gonna be what it really is. Once again, meet the new me, same as the old me. I'm making that's gonna be what's really going on, but I don't think that's what people are gonna be speaking about. Right. Huh. So yeah, the left is in total meltdown right now. Um Horrified, right? The left is in total meltdown right now. And I get it. I get it. But y'all should have did y'all should have did right by the people. And y'all should have not been so condescending and mean and a-holes and misandrous, right? And elitist. Especially the Kim Foster types, the black and white and Latina women like Kim Foster, right? Huh. And Inspired Truth says, start the day off right, like the vid. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, and thank you for the super chat, Inspired Truth. Thank you, sir. You're a scholar and a gentleman, right? And Onasi says, I love this podcast, but y'all are way too socialist on these economics. Guys like Anton, in my opinion, are excellent role models for black men compared to what we've gotten over the last couple decades. You mean neoliberalism? That's what we've gotten over the past few decades. That's a real comment. Like Onasi, like for real, think about what I said. We've gotten Wait, you think this is leftist economics that we've gotten over the past couple decades? You think this is socialist economics? This is Milton Friedman economics that we've gotten over the past couple decades. This is Frederick Hayek economics that we've gotten over the past couple decades. This is let them eat cake economics that we've gotten over the past couple decades. Brother, this is not any type of socialist or democratic socialist economics we've gotten over the past decades. This is corporate takeover, turn a blind eye to corporate practically monopolies that we've gotten over the past decades. This is definitely not anything left of center. I'll assure you of that. If this is leftist economics, then what the hell does right economics look like? Huh? Exactly. Oh, Passport OG says socialism if you are too big to fail bank. Um, and Onasi says, I'm not talking about what we've gotten. I'm talking about what you guys espouse on here. Um, that's Z. The rest of the brothers, even the brothers that are listening to me right now, are, I would say, are either centrist, lean a little bit to the left, or lean or more maybe right of center, right? Mr. Z, maybe a better you, Leon, we're more of the leftists, right? But my entire channel and all my subscribers are not leftists, right? They listen to Zipa as I'm honest about my politics, right? Even if they're not leftists themselves, right? So yeah, I'm not gonna tar my subscribers with leftist ideology. That's Mr. Z that's on that. So yeah, that yeah. Well, from Africa, I came says I'm hard left, more left than Z. So we got a couple of brothers that's standing over here on the left with Z, but yeah, that's not the entirety of my subscriber base. I would say that's not even the majority of my subscriber base. Right? Will says you're one of the few in the manosphere I'm willing to listen to right now. To be honest, yeah, yeah, brother. I'm not going to blow smoke up Trump's rear end, and I'm not going to have a fit that Kamala lost either. The left is playing a dangerous game. Y'all need to completely repudiate the past 30 years ish of quote unquote left is politics because it's not the we have to separate left from Democrat because it's not actually the same. The Democrats are just slightly left of the Republicans, but the Overton window has been shifted so far to the right, I would argue, in American politics. That's why European leftist politics is so foreign to a lot of Americans because the left in these other countries are the actual left. The left in America is like lightweight Republican in other countries, right? Huh. International Ronin says Kamala looked relieved that she lost. Yeah, I bet you that pressure was serious. I bet you. And you could see it when she was speaking to, was it Shannon Sharp? Who was it when she was speaking to, or was it Charlemagne when she was like, I'm on a plane here, then I gotta get up there, then I gotta go here, and like she wasn't necessarily complaining about it, but you could tell it's like weighing on her. I'm like, lady, you're not even president yet. You're running. You're running. You're not even president, right? And once again, Inspired Truth, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, right? And Lord Lovesmith says black women are already talking slick about black men. Yeah, leftist black women are going to do that. Of course they are, because who else are they going to blame? What, they're going to talk crap about white men, right? What homegirl said? What that she looked hopper as hell. What are we supposed to marry? Poor and stupid men, right? Are they supposed to speak crap about white men? They don't got the ovaries, right? Huh? So Trump is gonna get back in. Um, JD Vance and his ilk will have carte blanche to bring in, the next, I guess, their iteration of white male rulership. Dear white women, JD Vance is who you think he is. All the white women who are not saying it out loud, but they know they went to school with JD Vance and they know who JD Vance is. All the white women who are mortified, you should be. Because he is who they are who we thought they were. He is who you think he is. Huh? Oh yeah, you better believe it. They're mortified. Huh? And Leon says, my cousin posted Tupac's lyrics for the women, right? Oh yeah, and since a man can't make one, he has no right to tell a woman when and where to create one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so will the real men get up? Know you're fed up. Ladies, keep your head up. Yep, yep, yep. And Compassionate says, welcome to Black Man's World, America. No support, no DEI, no sympathy, evil laugh. Right? Yeah, no, brother. I mean, like, what did people expect? What did people expect? You kept Biden in there far too long. You gave Kamala all of what, 2-ish months, 3-ish months, 2-ish months to run against Donald Trump. You know the rich white dude? You know the rich white old dude? Huh? And JD Vance is what, 40, 41? Do y'all? Oh yeah, this is definitely true. It's definitely been proven here. And Telescope says I voted against both of them, right? And um, wait a minute, let's finish that out. Both major parties are puppets of the donor class. True, and playing all y'all, right? Playing in y'all face, all of y'all. Exactly. No, I completely agree with Telescope on this. And look, man, y'all got shout out to Neymar. Exactly. PayPal Mafia gonna be running the goddamn White House, huh? Shout out to everyone who thought the tech bros were a bunch of leftists. Have you heard Mark Zuckerberg lately? Uh-oh. He's been hanging with those MMA guys. Have you heard Mark Zuckerberg lately? Right. Oh boy. Huh? So Elon, Peter Thiel, Mark Zuckerberg left. I thought y'all were the ones that were really good at convincing people. Uh-oh. Y'all don't appreciate. How do you use terms like the personal is political and then not appreciate how Elon Musk could be moved to the right, how Peter Thiel could be moved to the right, how Mark Zuckerberg could be moved to the right? Huh? St. Cyr say that. St. Cyr says Zuck is a typical right wing guy. Got his trad Asian wife and all LOL like JD Vance. Shout out to all the black women. White women aren't told to settle. Yeah, white men, when they're fed up with white women, they just go get them an Asian wife. If you don't believe me, go check JD Vance and Mark Zuckerberg. Oops. Huh? Or they pipe other dudes. If you don't believe me, go ask Peter Thiel. Yikes. Uh-oh. And those are the rich white folks. Ooh, 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 Z. Ooh. Huh? Is Mr. Z kicking a little dirt in the left eye? Just a little bit, just a smidge, just a teeny tiny bit. If you're gonna be left all the way. Not this play stuff. If you're gonna be left, see, I think y'all got the wrong lesson. Y'all really think y'all could continue this third wave Bill Clinton crap. Y'all really think y'all could double and triple and quadruple down on this Bill Clinton third way crap? We're in 2024. This is not 1992 anymore. Huh? Low propensity voters, right? What happened? Uh-oh. Y'all really the low propensity voters, and I can't remember where I was watching it that said there were a couple of new voters were turning out for Trump. Uh-oh. But here's the thing, and Lord Lessman, let me not let Lord Lessman not gotta be a lefty. Not gotta be a lefty. And Lord Lessman says the left has gone too far for anyone liking these days. Liking these days. I get what you're saying. So there's that. Left on social issues, not economics. Left on TRANS bathrooms, but not on, okay, fine, I'm gonna tax y'all a bit more, but we're going to um take record of all the folks over the age of 70, and we're gonna send young people out, and we're gonna have young people just spending time with old folks, especially those that are in their homes alone, the kidless black women. Oops. And so I'm gonna tax y'all, put more YMCA centers up. I'm gonna tax y'all and make the public schools better. I'm gonna tax y'all in that pothole that's been in your um inner city road for the past 6 months that nobody's filled. I'm gonna fill that. I'm gonna tax y'all, but you're gonna actually see where the tax money's going. No more dilapidated schools, et cetera, et cetera. No, the left hasn't done that. The left has double and triple down on TRANS bathrooms. TRANS. Yeah, I said it the right way. Yeah. That's why I continue to say y'all learned the wrong lesson. Y'all still think this is 92 and Bill Clinton in a third way. Huh? If you're going to be left, then you should be anti war. How do you let Donald Trump run to the left of you when it comes to war? Huh? And there should be mechanisms to encourage women, that's white women and black women and Latinas, to have children. Go into what you're saying right here, Laura Luffman. Laura Luffman says, I'm in California and my taxes has gone to illegals. And instead of the left turning a blind eye to illegals, by the way, the right does it too, but for different reasons, more for business than for children. Um, but dear left, you would help to bring about the mechanisms to have mainly white women, but women be comfortable having they 2 and 3 and 4 kids. That way, you wouldn't have to turn a blind eye or encourage immigrants to come across the border to make up for that number, hoping and praying that if and when they become legal citizens, that they'll vote for you. They'll remember you and vote for you. Huh? See what I'm saying? And Leon says, I'm going to tax y'all and everyone will have the choice of government health care. That's truly leftist. Not tax you to fund the illegal immigrants I brought into the country because I allowed the banks and other corporations and companies to squeeze y'all to death. So now the women don't want to have kids. The women want to practice hypergamy at the absolute nth degree. And so we got to continue to bring in and drain, brain drain, and labor drain developing countries, quote unquote, the global south. And hopefully, like I said before, these people vote to the left if and when they become legal citizens. Yeah, no, that's not a good gamble. Not a good gamble, right? Charles says hashtag immigrants investments, right? Charles says hashtag urinals in women's bathrooms. I'm saying for a negligible amount of Americans. Y'all notice Mr. Z doesn't have this hysteria about TRANS? Y'all ever notice that I really don't be talking about them like that on this channel? Why, Z? Because I realize they're a negligible amount of the American population. It's culture war crap. Number one. Number two, they'll just be like the rest of the LGBT. They get their rights, and then the ones that are going to vote to the left, vote to the left, and the ones that are going to vote to the right, vote to the right. Peter Thiel is a same-sex loving black man. I said black man. Ooh, Z. Peter Thiel is a same-sex loving white man. Z, that slip, right? He's a same-sex loving white. As a matter of fact, we do actually have same-sex loving black men that vote Republican. So, yeah, that part. But same-sex loving white man. Guess what? He's who helped to bring you JD Vance. I'm just saying. Huh? As a matter of fact, what's his name? Jenner. Jenner's Republican. Not the wife, not Kris Jenner. Well, the ex-wife, wife. I don't know. Ex-wife. I guess formerly Bruce Jenner. What was the new name again? What's the new first name? Telescope. I'm saying. Telescope says Jesse Lee Peterson. Just saying. It's not official. It's not official. But yes, you're right. Right. Caitlyn, thank you, Onasi. Caitlyn Jenner. Right. So I'm saying that doesn't. Once these people get the little thing that they're fighting for, they're these one issue voters, they'll vote to the left because the Republicans won't let them practice whatever type of sexuality they want to practice. And the second they get that, and especially if it's codified, but even if it's not codified, once they get that, they're like, okay, yeah, all my economic interests and the rest of my political interests are over here on the right. I got what I wanted from the left. Thank you. See ya. Huh? Say that. Passport OG says Latinos, Catholic barely believe in birth control, and you're preaching kid deletion. Shaking my head. Right. And once again, Inspired Truth, thank you for the super chat. Adric says the DNC bet it all on the Joker. And thank you for the super chat, Adric. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Thank you, right? So to the left, I say, what you thought? First of all, y'all really didn't pay attention to the number. Thank you for. I called it. So Mr. Z's calling this now. I called this before. Remember, we don't know who voted for who yet. The numbers yet. At least Mr. Z don't know. So I didn't look it up. So maybe y'all know, but Mr. Z hasn't looked it up yet. I'm making the argument that Trump's numbers may have increased with every demographic just a smidge, except for maybe white women, possibly. But I think his numbers may have stayed largely neutral with white women. And I think his numbers with white men in particular increased over 2020. Maybe not 2016, but 2020. Right? So, and Ishmael says, can't wait to see aggregated voting results. For me, it's disaggregated. I want to see every little. If they break it down to ethnicity, I want to see it. I want to see what the different genders voted, different races and excuse me and ethnicities how they voted. Yeah, I want to see all. Yeah, down to the goddamn zip code for real. Y'all know Mr. Z, data and statistic heavy. I get off on that. Right? Huh? Okay. And Mr. Donnie Max says NBC has released the first round of exit polls. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Right. Better Use says white men voted for her 24% and white women 31%. Black men 81%. So I heard that. Yeah, that's largely true. Black women 90%. These results were for Georgia. 24%. 24%. Dear left, are you really going to be the party that banks on college educated folks mainly? Yeah, thank you. Ashmal, mint disaggregate. Okay, yeah. Z. Okay. So we were saying the same thing. But yeah, dear left, are you going to be the party of the elite, the smug left elite? That's the party. You want to be the party of those people? I'm not saying those people shouldn't occupy the party. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you want those people to be the front facing folks. Are you sure about that? Huh? Y'all want Miss Foster to be the face of the party? Are you sure? Y'all want Leisha Miller to be the face of the party? Are you sure? Huh? Telescope. Telescope with the funny, and Telescope says, DNC, numbers and counting are racist tools. Right? Oh man. And Terrain, let me know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. This is National Think of Becky Day. Black women don't have the ovaries. They don't have the ovaries. But better you, I think that black men 81% and black women 90% for Georgia, I think that's probably largely reflected for the national poll numbers also. I would not poll numbers, I'm sorry, the exit poll numbers. I think that's probably going to be largely the country. Now when it comes to 24% white men for Trump, I think it's probably closer to 30ish, like 33ish maybe, 35ish, probably not 35ish, but yeah, maybe a good third ish of white men probably voted for Kamala, right? The never Trumpers mixed with the leftist white men, um and yeah, a couple of union white dudes, um yeah, maybe a good third of white men voted for Kamala, right? So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm I'm gonna try to search for those Asian numbers, particularly college educated Asians. Yeah, because I don't think they don't disaggregate between um South Asian and East Asian, although there's a huge difference culturally, and somewhat politically. Um, yeah, no, I'm gonna once those numbers start coming out, I'm all over it. I'm all over it. Telescope says it's more important to the Dems to be part of the quote unquote cool smart class than give the people what they actually want. Dim party is the 13th grade. Hysterical, right? Man, did it? And Trell says, what is the total vote? I think it went down from 2020 and 2016. That would speak to people's disillusionment. If that's true, Trell, I would argue that that speaks to people disillusionment and more people choosing the couch 2024 than we would like to give credit, right? And huh, that's a that's a ticking time bomb. The more people that feel disillusioned and vote for neither because they couldn't be bothered. Yeah, that's a problem. Because I will tell y'all this, Mr. Z didn't have to wait in line for no. I don't even. I don't even think I waited in because I went to the wrong place the first time. And even in the wrong place the first time, I was in line for maybe it wasn't even 10 minutes. It wasn't even 10 minutes. When I went to the right place, I didn't wait in line at all. So unless you were at a college or university campus or something like that, I don't know how the rest of the country was with precincts, but it wasn't out the way. It wasn't any of that, right? So that wasn't going to deter you from voting. Yeah, especially if your job gave you an hour or so to go vote. Based on off of my experience, I don't know. Some of the brothers that might live in more rural areas, maybe the distance was far, or maybe the line was long, but yeah. So I'm tying that to what Trell said by saying like I would argue people just did couch 2024 because neither one of these candidates were exactly inspiring, right? That and yeah, yeah, telescope with the DNC, that's hysterical, right? Yeah, yeah. If you're right about that, trail, yeah, that I'm not surprised. Thank you, International Road. And I like when y'all remind me of stuff that I said and I forget, especially if I was right. In International Road, it says Z did say that white women weren't going to let POC people of color women be the first one in the White House. I might be lagging. Um, so yeah, I'm of two minds of that. So yes, I did say that. I still stand by that. With that, there's another two minds, and this is the other part. I think America, because white America is not a matriarchy, it's possible to see a black woman become president before a white woman, right? So I will say that about that. But with that, first, white women just far outnumber black women, right? And far outnumber. They're the largest demographic in the country. Period. So they far outnumber everyone else outside of white men. That's number one. So the likeliness, and then white women go to college more than black women. Um, we know they have more wealth, they have more connections, et cetera, et cetera. Um, right? So, and like the separation between your average white woman and a millionaire, the degrees of separation is like far smaller. I think black people are what 1 out of 50 degree of separation from a millionaire. I might have that number wrong, but I remember that number from years back. And for white women, it's what 1 in 7 or something like that, 1 in 6. So like the likeliness of a white woman being raised in the right family to go to the right university to make the right connections and to be catapulted into political office is just far more likely, I would argue, than it is for black women. Um, yeah, and then have the right funder or marry the right man, the right white man who has the connections to catapult her into, I'm thinking of a couple of I'm thinking of the Supreme Court judge, the white one, obviously the white woman, Tony Barrett. What is her name? Goddamn. But yeah, just marry the right white man, and yeah, yeah. So, and global free agencies, lots of Valley girls in my college classes. I'm saying, right? Gail Gamy says many would quote unquote vote for the couch if they consider they have neither the wealth nor the power for their expectations to be met by the government agents. I'm saying, right? Dracon says took about 10 minutes in North Florida. See, that's nothing. You could if you went on lunch break, you still got time to go get something to eat, right? You still not only do you have time, you have time to kind of take your time and go get something to eat, right? Better use says turnout for Dims was down. Big F boy Joe got 81 million votes. Kamala got six. Oh yeah, I saw this. The 66 million votes so far. Turnout for Republicans seems to be on track to match 2020. So that means he really did win the popular vote. You know how you I'm gonna love to speak when I get a chance. I'm gonna love to speak to Black Uru about this because we said it. We said it. If she loses the popular vote, that's not just a repudiation of her. That's a repudiation of the Democrats. Called it, right? Telescope says dropped our ballots off at the mailbox. Excuse me, 1 mile away. Took 5 seconds. Yeah, my lady and her mother did mail in. My lady did mail in. Yeah. right? Wow. Inspired Truth says took 20 to 30 minutes in Central Florida. That's a bit long, right? Yeah. And once again, Adric, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Dracon says, and thank you for the super chat. Um, Z, did you know we needed 60% majority to pass amendment in FL? Crazy. I really thought they were going to legalize weed. I voted for it. I don't smoke it, I never have. But I voted for it. For recreational use, I voted for it. And I not only have I never have, I don't ever see me smoking, but I voted for it because I don't understand why it's illegal, right? And shout out to Sauger and Jetty off of Breaking Points, who's anti-weed. Bruh, take that South Asian conservative crap out of here, right? Right? What? Why is weed illegal? Because of Negroes, that's why. Y'all ever look at some of them old ads and stuff about because it was legal until it wasn't, right? Trell, I ain't even gonna say that. I ain't gonna read it out loud, but I hear you, right? Man, Ishmael, Ishmael. I ain't gonna read it right now. I'm gonna leave Drake Khan's um super chat up for a little bit, but that's hysterical, right? Oh man, thank you. And Rocky says Reefer Madness days back in the 20s. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about, right? Man, huh? GC says HBCU tears been flowing too. Drink up. Look, man. Just like I said, I don't want leftists that live in these bubbles in these major cities to misread America. The majority of black people still live in the South. Some 50 some odd percent, 55-ish% of black people still live in the South, right? But for those brothers and sisters on the West Coast, those of you in the Northeast, um, the Northern Midwest, the Minnesotas, the Chicagos, and whatnot, the Detroits, I think y'all really misread what the hell America is. I really do. And I'm saying that as a child of immigrants. The scariest thing in the world is coming across ADOS folks, and you be like, are you living in the same America I'm living in? Right? You be like, wait, what America are you living in? Because are you talking about the same white folks I'm talking about? Right? You ever look at yourself and you be like, is it me? Right? I'm like, are you a student of history? Because like that's literally how I feel about. I said the word feel. That's how I feel about Miss Foster. Bruh, you lived in Oklahoma and Texas. You went to school in Massachusetts, right? You went to Harvard, but outside of Cambridge, Massachusetts is the goddamn south of the Northeast. The second you step your big toe out of Cambridge, out of Boston, aren't you back in the South? Somebody tell me I'm lying. All you Northeasterners, Toya them, tell me I'm lying. Once you step out of Boston, aren't you in the South? Z, what are you saying? Massachusetts in the Northeast. I said what I said. Once you step your big toe out of Boston, aren't you in the South? Crap. Aren't you in the South when you in Boston? Goddamn, Z. Somebody tell Z he lying. Thank you, Trail. America is what she's always been. Toya says, wait, here we go. Toya says, I don't make it a habit to go up there. Right? Charles Irby says, Boston is the damn South. I'm saying. And Toya says, beautiful state to look at, but yeah, not so welcoming for my kind. I don't understand what the hell these people be talking about. You putting your stock on college educated white women because more and more of them are single and can't find husbands and men on their level, and you're mocking and making fun of blue collar, non college educated, quote unquote, low propensity voters. Ma'am, you're the Harvard graduate. Why is your take so dumb? What white women are you talking about? I know the Hillary Clintons and I know the Sarah Huckabee Sanders. They're not the same. They have different politics. Ma'am, you really. Wasn't Hillary Clinton a Goldwater girl? Oops. Wasn't Hillary Clinton a Goldwater girl? Didn't Hillary Clinton have those inmates doing her work at her goddamn governor's mansion when Bill Clinton was governor of Arkansas? Uh-oh. What are you talking about? Did or did not Bill Clinton take pictures in front of inmates? Huh? And Charles says NBA players voted Boston the worst city to play because of the racism. Literally blue bloods. Literally, like when I think blue bloods, I don't think about DC. I don't think about New York. I don't think about Connecticut even. Not even Connecticut. I think about goddamn Massachusetts, the whole state. Huh? And no, it's not just because Harvard's there. Huh? What are you talking about? These people. I yo, I'm listening to her, and like I'm a leftist, so there's certain things I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah, you got a point on that. Okay, yeah, yeah, you got a point. Okay, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But the doubling and tripling down on white women. Why? Because they can't find husbands for now. Better Use says New Hampshire ain't that different either. Huh? Not smart. And Dracon, thank you once again for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Ishmael says, and thank you for the super chat. Divine Nine, y'all good? Ski wee? Pause. Huh? So, yeah, no, the Divine Nine, I think they hurting. They hurting. They're hurting. They're hurting. I don't know. So for a second there, it was looking like, oh no. But we called it. We all collectively called it after the assassination attempt. We all pretty much called it. Whose channel were we on? Were we on Arch channel or were we on AB's channel that night? And we all called it. It wasn't BGS's channel, right? It was either Art New Style or AB Media's channel that night. And we called it. I know me and Black Guru called it. Black Guru might not even remember he called it. We called it. Huh? Just saying. And PK says, "Hey, I'm on vacation, but I'm popping in to tell everyone you're welcome for calling this election before literally everyone else. Like 6 months out. Yeah." Kiyogami says the Celtic whites want to prove they're as legitimate, quote unquote, legitimate as the Germanic whites by being more anti-non-white. That's how it be working sometimes. That's hysterical. And Telescope says December 7th, 1941, a day that will live in infamy. November 5th, 2024, Black Girl Tragic Day. Hysterical, right? Hysterical. Yeah, no, Ishmael, look, man. Yes. Divine Nine. And better you said there. Some of them are hurting, but where's that coming from? Better you. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm Alpha Phi Alpha. The K's hurting, but a lot of us is good. Good. Yeah. Right. So I don't really know what else to say. I mean, like Mr. Z clearly, I popped up on Art New Style stream. I listened to Leftist. I'm gonna continue. Y'all might get a stream a little bit later tonight. If not tomorrow morning. Um, I'm just saying, like, what did people expect? Is this the America? This is the America Mr. Z knows. I'm just saying, right? This is the America Mr. Z knows. So, and PK says, back to the Shadow Realm for me. I will share credit with everyone here, even though it was me, then A.L. Evans in that order. Everyone slowly agreed with the reasoning. White women done showed everyone what's good. Don't be, but PK, I'm sorry, white men. White men. This is what I'm saying. White women may not have budged. They may have went a bit more for Trump. But white men, I think white men just did what they did in 2016. They punished Trump in 2020 for COVID because remember, I kept on saying it. Y'all remember Mr. Z kept saying this. Um, White men's number is what dropped off a bit in 2020. I would argue, as not seeing the numbers, I'm putting my neck on the line saying this. Not seeing the numbers, I would argue it's white men's numbers just went back up to what they were closer to in 2016, right? And if you swing a few white men this direction compared to that direction, well, you got it, right? And the Dems, they tried to over-index on calling men writ large, manosphere men. And by the way, yeah, remember what I said. Don't sleep. Yes, they're not in power really right now. That don't mean they ain't coming for our necks. By the way, they're going to try. Yeah, they're not in positions of power to do it as effectively as they would like. That ain't stopping nothing though. So I'm letting y'all know now. Be prepared. Um, but yeah, so these people really thought that what white men were going to stay put in the numbers that they were in 2020, and then they would make up for it with calling um manosphere men all type of sexist and misogynistic, etc., etc. Yeah, so I've heard. And Onasi says it's both Z. It's both Z. White men and black men showed up for Trump more than expected. Yeah. Yep. Man. Right. And once again, Ishmael, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Right. And Inspired Truth says, let's see if they press snooze on that wake up call. Do you mean the Dems or do you mean black women or do you mean both? Right. Notice I'm not saying the left. I was kind of mixing the two earlier. Just the Dems are left of center, but the center is off the table on the right. It fell off the table on the right, right? So I say, and somebody said in the comments for me when I said it earlier. I'm not gonna look for the comment now, but if you're gonna be left, be real left or be true left or really yes. What's the point of being the quote unquote left party if you are Republican light just your party platform lets TRANS have a shout out to Trell stalls in the women's restroom, right? Urinals in the women's restroom. That's what's so left about you. Get out of here. Huh? Inspired Truth says both. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna continue to say this. Y'all gonna hear Z keep on saying this. And by the way, this is not Z taking this from anyone else, any pundits, anyone else. This is the ghost of Bernie's past, or Bernie past, better yet. Not saying it's 100% guarantee that Bernie would have won in 2016 or even 2020, but if Bernie would have been the Democratic presidential nominee, do you understand? I'm not saying that America would elect him. I'm saying the argument that he would have made and how his words would have rang true if he lost. But y'all didn't even let him make the argument on a grand scale on stage. And here we are now, 8 years later. Here we are here we are now, 4 years later. Well, huh? And I'm saying that to the Democrats in particular, right? Well, and Dutt says they would have had a better chance with Bernie in 2020 or 2016. And now, y'all, oh yeah, let's say this too. Y'all think y'all were scared, dear left. Y'all think y'all were scared with the evangelical Christian Mike Pence. Oh, but JD Vance got some for y'all ass. If JD Vance is the type of white guy that I think JD Vance is, oh, that's your ass. Huh? Mike Rizzi. Now we can watch Trump walk back 90% of everything and snub RFK. Let's see, because I think people are putting way too much on him being with the health minister kind of. Eh, y'all forget how fickle Trump is, though. Like, let's not turn Trump into Superman. Y'all forget how fickle he is, though. Right? I said 80-year-old, 12-year-old. I know what I said. I meant it. Right? I'm saying GC, and GC says Trump says a lot of ish. I'm saying. Right? And Telescope says America's not voting for self-avowed socialist Bernie, but America loves populists. The question is because I would love to see this debate, and I think Armio say Frimpong tried to make it back when Sagar and Jetty and Crystal Ball were on the Hill. Um, and I watched leftists make this argument. I want to see. Uh, I want to see a debate on this, not just for the debate's sake, but to really flesh this out. Is there a true conservative populist? Is there a true Republican populist? And what does that look like? What does Republican populism look like? right? Huh. And Inspired Truth, that goes to what you're saying. Like, did the Dems really get the message? Not black women. We know they're stubborn as hell and they're going to blame black men. I'm not even talking about black women right now. But did the Democrats get the message? And are they going to read accurately the message? If you're going to be left, you got to be left all the way in and broadcast your wins in neon lights, right? Broadcast how your policies are beneficial when you win, by the way, not when you lose, but when you win, broadcast how your policies and what you advocated for, how it benefited the masses in neon lights. You got to win first, obviously. Are the Dems going to get the right message, or are the Dems going to get the message? Because I put money, this is the message they're going to get. That their problem is that they're not running old white guys and that they're too far left and they need to adopt more right, excuse me, right-leaning ideologies. Once again, Bill Clinton the third way, which is Republican light, right? Somebody tells you he lying. Oh, thank you, Excalibur. Excalibur gave me this link. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Right. GC said, Dims are cooked. How much you want to bet they don't learn a damn thing from this loss? We'll see. I agree with you, by the way. And PK says, Trump's the caution flashing sign. The alternative was the dagger. Red flashing sign. Ugh. Yeah. This, yeah. You lost the popular vote, Miss Kamala? The popular vote? Ah. Yeah. And y'all ran two women against Trump. No offense to the XX chromosome. Y'all ran Hillary against Trump and y'all ran Kamala against Trump. What? Y'all ran, no offense. Y'all running women against the old rich white man? The old rich white man who's unapologetic about his wealth and his access? Y'all ran women against him in America, when that's the aspiration for like almost everyone. Notice I didn't just say men. Oops. Y'all ran the women against the man that buys his wives. Okay, yeah, that's it. Y'all ran women against the man that let's be very clear. Y'all ran women against one man that mail orders his brides and another man who is a red pill not well we'll guess we'll say mail order his bride too. He would have been a passport bro, but his wife was already here. Oops. Huh? PK, I thought it. I didn't want to say it. I thought it. I didn't want to say it. I'll just leave this up for a second. I thought it. I didn't want to say it. I literally thought these exact same words. I just didn't want to say it. Right? PK says, learn. You think they think? I hear you. That's what I'm saying, Inspired Truth. They will probably go Republican like Bill Clinton style because they can't learn from history. I'm just saying. Or they refuse to, better yet. And St. Cyr says exactly why I said domestic foreign, quote unquote foreign, because she's a U.S. national. Yeah, I know, right? No, I do think we're gonna have a. I think we're gonna have a woman president in our life. For us, even younger Xers, pretty much from 45 and younger, we're gonna have a woman president in our lifetime, and it's not gonna take another century or so. I don't see it. Um, but yeah, Dut says the Dems need to stop running women presidents. It's not gonna happen. I don't think that's the. I think what are their policies? How do they speak? How charismatic are they? How witty are they? How talented are they? Um, and if you're gonna call anyone sexist, it's not gonna be black men. But white men, you gotta convince white men. You gotta convince enough white men. And y'all are over indexing on leftist, college educated white men, and y'all really don't appreciate like the Paul brothers, right? And how many white men are just the Paul brothers, right? How many white men are JD Vance? I'm really speaking. Notice I'm not really speaking about older white men right now. Y'all don't really appreciate how many white men are these people. Y'all think a bunch of white men. I know he's British, but y'all think a bunch of white men are Tom Holland. They're not. They're the Paul brothers. Your average under the age of 40 white man is one of the Paul brothers. Huh? That's why their numbers are so high. I know PewDiePie is not American either, but the average white man in America is PewDiePie. That's your average white man in America. Under the age of 40, under the age of 45, that's your average white man. Your average white man is not what's his name off of TYT? Uh I forgot his goddamn name. Right there. Not Sync, the one that came in a little bit later, he's big on TYT now. I forgot his name, but y'all know, well, whoever watches TYT knows who Z is talking about, right? Or the guy from the Rational National, or um a number of other white dudes. Like their faces are right there. I can't remember their names, but like that's not your average white dude. Not Sync, not Sync. Thank you, Toy. Not Sync. Right. Sync is Middle Eastern. I think he's Turkish, if I'm not mistaken. No, he's not. He's not. He's not Turkish. Because whatever. John, thank you, Toya. That's who I'm talking about. Yes, John. Thank you, Toya. Yeah, that's not your average white guy. Thank you, Toya. That's exactly who I'm talking about. I notice I ain't pronounced his last name. I'm not even gonna try. But yeah, John is who I'm talking about. Thank you. Oh, he is Turkish. Okay, thank you, Charles. I'm talking about Sync, right? Hassan is Turkish also. That's another one. Your average white guy isn't Hassan. They're not. Your average under 40 white dude, under 45, under 42 years old white dude, once again, is the Paul brothers, right? It's what's his name? That his name is slipping me right now. That wears the beanie and has his a big ass YouTube channel. That's your average white dude, right? So, oh yeah, they better be scared of that. And then PK says, once the millennial and Z men get to kicking around, we are not a lot of the older gens in the sense of quote unquote chivalry and whatnot. There's a divide in our our sexismness. Yeah, right. Yeah, Destiny, exactly. Shout out to our favorite cucked white Cuban Destiny. That's not that's not your average white dude, bro. Your average white dude is not out here being a little blue-haired white feminist with yeah, with an open relationship. Stop it. And once again, inspired you. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And 18th letter, thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And 18 letter says, we have to be careful and think ahead of the game. The Dems are already thinking of ways to punish black men in the future for this election. Of course they are. And I'm telling you right now, we got to be careful in these spaces. I don't know what careful looks like. right? I'm trying to think of what careful looks like in these spaces. I think that we're pretty careful. That's why we haven't been kicked off. Um, but yeah, we just gonna have to move a little. I would say a little bit different. Not because the women are in positions of power, um, um, in crushing us and the people that feel slighted, but because they may have the ears of those that are, right? Huh. I'm just saying. Aiden Ross is another one. Thank you. Thank you, Big Game. I would still say Paul Brothers though, and Big Game says not Paul Brothers, more like Aiden Ross, a racist soy boy that likes rap music. Aiden Ross is another one. Aiden Ross is another one, right? But I would still add the Paul Brothers though. I would still add the Paul Brothers. But Aiden Ross is another one. Thank you. He's another one, right? So yeah, Excalibur says, why not punish Latino men, white women? They just hate black men. Yeah, and plus, I don't think they think that they can actually affect them in that way, right? So yeah, 18th. I agree with you. I think that, and I've been saying that we had just got to know that these people are going to try to come for our necks. They feel slighted. They feel a certain way, right? They don't. They're not accurately reading that they're the ones who moved wrong. Y'all tried to run a black/South Asian woman with a white husband and no children who was out here with Willie Brown, and y'all tried to run her against the rich white men and their benefactors. Oh, somebody tells Z he lying. Say that, and Mr. Shook to you says black men, a whole 5-6% of the population gets to take the blame. That's what it looked like. That's what it looked like, right? And Montel, you're right. Yes, yes. I saw that red carpet video, right? This is a great comment. And Telescope says the black women leadership class encounter white men in the corporate world and in universities. That's not who the typical white man is. And even with that, they're really interacting with more of the mild mannered leftist white men in those spaces and even more right leaning conservative white men in those spaces. Because even although she was at Harvard, even Kim Foster was like, um, because I think a number of black women were telling her in her comments that they're out here with the white men saying racist stuff in class and sexist stuff in classes, and she was saying, yeah, I did not have to deal with that at Harvard, and I'm like, yeah, because you were in school in what 2010, you were in school in 2009, 2010, maybe 2011, something like that, maybe 2012 ish, something like that. You were in Harvard. You're in, oh no, 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 it wasn't in her comment section. She was saying when she would go on speaking gigs and excuse me, y'all. When she would go on speaking gigs and go on tour around the country, um, she's speaking to some of the young sisters and they telling her what they're encountering in these classes, let's be honest, namely by white men. And yeah, y'all don't really appreciate it's not just the power position. I want to be very clear to Miss Foster. It's not just the new normal of women in power and men are just going to have to get used to it. That's that may be an issue, namely for non-black men. You don't appreciate how smug you are, and we can make you eat your smile. When I say we, I mean XY chromosome. I'm not saying black men in particular, although yes, kind of, sort of, too sometimes. Um, that smugness, that snarkiness, that wittiness, Miss Foster, you have somewhat insulated yourself because of your station in life. The masses of women, namely black women, have not. The masses of black women have not insulated themselves even from black men, let alone white men. Oh my God, let alone elite white men. Do you know what country you're living in, Miss Foster? And I'm using Kim Foster's name, but I'm using her name as a catch-all for this particular archetype of black woman. Not even all black women, but this type of black woman, right? Huh. Say that. And Telescope says if an 80% black man voting for Harris voting rate isn't enough to satisfy them or their candidate to win, that's a candidate problem, not a black man problem. I agree. I agree. But Saint Cyr, I'm not Saint Cyr, but Telescope, you're expecting these people to be sensible and know who to speak about in which way. And I don't see it. I just don't, right? I don't see it. And once again, 18 letter, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And Afro National says, well, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. But yeah, y'all. So I just wanted to come to y'all with this. Um, like I said, for the previous stream, the one I did last night, I'm going to put the link that BGS sent. I'm going to put it in the description box because I know some of y'all want to hear Polly Murray speaking. Um, yeah, so there's that. We're going to make sure to do that. This stream was just a honestly a bit of I'm a leftist, y'all. Like for real. I know sometimes I sound reactionary. I'm really on the left, and I'm telling the left, if you're gonna be leftist, you gotta be real leftist. It can't just be social. If part of being on the left is raising taxes but making people feel where their tax money is going. I'm not talking about bombs, right? I'm not speaking about subsidizing a war in the Middle East for the small hats so they can have their little slice of Europe in the Middle East. No, I'm speaking about schools. If y'all want to do this tax cut, or not tax cut, sorry, but forgive college forgiveness, which still to this day I don't see how this is feasible, but okay, fine. You have to show people how this is going to be beneficial for the masses, not just for the elite folks, right? Thank you, Toya. And Toya says, can't subsidize stupidity and salaciousness. There's a reason why you have certain Northern European countries that have high taxes. And yes, sometimes the people complain. Yeah, they do. But they could see where it's going, right? Fast Wi-Fi and internet access, right? In public spaces. These type of things. If the left is truly left, then that you gotta mean it. And try to take the cheap route and say, well, we're leftists because we let TRA and S have urinals in women's restrooms. That's stop. Huh? And you might have to get offensive, Uzi, but not to the men. Uh-oh. What are you saying, Z? You might have to tell the ladies, look, we didn't put our thumb on the scales for you so that you could turn around and give the men your ass to kiss. I said it. Dear left, you're gonna have to lecture your daughter. Stop coming over here lecturing black men. Tell white women, black women, Latina women, and even the Asian women that they're not having kids and you know why. Uh-oh. Ooh. Huh? Tell them that you're bringing in immigrants because they're not having children. Dear left, if you're going to be left, you got to be left all the way. Tell the women, hey, we are in economic war with China. They're about a third away from being the same size economy as the US. We got Russia nipping at our heels and trying to form a goddamn new Warsaw Pact, right? And we don't got the time for you and your BS because you can't end up with the rich white man. You better go end up with extra average Eddie and go give us some goddamn kids. But y'all don't got the balls to say it. So suffer. Huh? Trail has some stuff right here. Trail says invest in schools, boys in particular, cut and eliminate H-1B visas, heavily fine fines to employers of undocumented migrants, raise taxes for infrastructure programs. Look at that. And I bet you Trail was freestyling on that one. Off the dome. Right? And KMS says, I left the left because the left went left and won't act right. America populist. But the left isn't even really it's the left is playing like left when it comes to sexuality. It's left when it comes to the easy stuff. The sexuality stuff don't cost that much money. That's why they do it. It's easy. J everything says EA Eddie. Extra average Eddie, I'm saying. Extra average Eddie. Right? And once again, Afro Nationals, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker. And KMS says, and thank you for the super chat. To black women, just like how you want Brad, Becky wants Brad too, and Becky wants to see Brad in power. White women are white first. Hashtag lesson not learned. Every oh. Y'all better believe there is a I told you so coming from Miss Foster ass. I said it last night because I wanted to put it on the wood. Now, pause. But now that we know, I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna try to put this video out, hopefully by tomorrow. And then when we really start seeing those election results, the numbers, I'm gonna put out another one because you really thought white women were gonna turn their backs on their husbands and on their brothers and on their fathers. You put way too much on single white women. And yeah, it may happen. Let's say it may happen in an election or two or three, but not today. Your calculus is wrong. That's why I put out that stream last night. You learned very little from Paulie Murray. Paulie Murray thought the same thing you thought. I'll give black men the middle finger, and I'll put all my chips on white women, single white women. And what happened? Oh, thank you, Spain Man. Thank you. Wait. And Spain Man says there's 107 watching and only 60 likes. What y'all doing? Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Toya says quite peculiar. Right? Toya, how is it that I would argue you have a way better reading, and you're from the Northeast? You have a way better reading on America than I would argue this lady does. Right? How is that? She's from Oklahoma and Texas. She went to school in Boston, but she's not from there. She wasn't raised there. So how is it that you can read this more accurately? And me and Toya don't even agree on everything politically, but how can you read this? And Mr. Z is actually at a loss for words. You know when you're like, for real. It's frustrating. It's frustrating, right? Just saying. Oh man. And once again, Afro National, thank you for the super sticker. And like KMS said, like lesson not learned. Hashtag lesson not learned. Clearly. Clearly. And you're right about Becky wanting to see Brad in power. We say this all the time. It's not like the white man, excuse me, the white woman may not divorce the white man, even the middle class white man, sometimes even the upper middle class white man. But she at least helps him to build that mansion first before she rips it brick by brick and take her half. I really think what's happened is that black women have taken the black gynocracy for granted so much they don't appreciate how much other people are not signing up for that. Other women are not signing up for that. And I think you really misread that, Miss Foster. And the data may not capture that. And so that's why you're misreading it. But also because you're a black woman in America who's used to white society putting a thumb on the scales for you and you think it's all your talent. I'm not saying you're not talented. I'm saying that you misread how much this is your talent and how much your mere existence and the way you move and think about men and women, particularly black men and black women, is why they put the thumb on the scales for women like you. Right? And once again, we're not just speaking. When I say Miss Foster's name, it's not just her, it's women like her, particularly black women under the age of 50 who think and move and act like a Miss Foster, who went to Ivies, near Ivies, right? The almost Ivies. That's why I'm speaking about her, but it's not really just her. I'm just making sure that we know this, right? Man. So it says, LOLZ, it's the ability to disagree and still concede to a point, which is what I do also. Right? That's why I'm good with speaking with conservative, right? That's why that's not difficult. Or an obsidian, right? Especially if you're not trolling, if we just having a real conversation, especially about politics, yeah, nah. Yeah. This is frustrating to say the least. And once again, thank you for the super chat, KMS. Thank you for the super chat. Buckeye fan says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Hopefully, y'all actually liking the video. I'm gonna check in a minute. And Buckeye fan says the decision to cheat Sanders twice in the Democratic Party should be studied for generations. Say that. I'm Buckeye fan. Oh, I hope you caught the intro, Buckeye fan. I was saying earlier, Mr. Z's been running. I did not forget about you. Yes, I'm getting the emails. We will be doing the TLC no scrubs thing. I know that's for. I've been talking about it forever. Trust me, y'all. Mr. Z been running. Shout out to Chief Rocker. I did not forget about you either. I will let both of y'all know. Y'all will see the thumbnail days in advance, if not a week in advance, for when I do the streams for y'all respective super chats. Okay, and yeah, so what Buckeye fan is saying, Joe, they twice, 2016, 2020. I'm not saying Bernie would win, although I really think he might have. What I am saying is for him to at least been on stage and make the argument and to say to Americans, hey, we've had neoliberal policies for a good four some odd years now, well, excuse me, four and some change decades now. How are the masses of you actually doing? For him to make that argument, even if he would have lost, I think would have reframed the entire left, right? But because he wasn't able to get on stage with Trump twice to show the difference between a real beginning of the left, democratic socialist is a bit, not just Democrat, which is left of center, and that's by where the center is. The center is to the right now in America. So left of center is Republican light right now. And so for Bernie to be on stage and you can see the difference between these two old white men, because they're still two old white men, but a different philosophy for real, political philosophy for real, not just quote unquote a Democrat, I think that would have been a something for Americans to experience that I would say Americans haven't really experienced that conversation since Eugene Debs, which is what, a century or so ago, right? I'm saying. So now you have to deal with the reactionary left that moved to the right. You have to deal with the um Bernie bros that said, screw that, we're not voting for Hillary, rather vote for Trump. You have to deal with the JD Vances that are not in politics right now. Ooh. Ooh. Huh? Well, yeah. And that would have been a duo for this. Oh, that would have been a dope ass duo. And Shamar says they wouldn't pick Bernie because he had Nina Turner, who's ADOS, as his vice. Right? Yeah. I agree with that, Mr. Shook, to you, by the way. She ain't slick. I agree with that. I ain't even gonna highlight it. I agree with that. Right. And the pick me and mammy stuff don't work on her too, so. And I agree with this Buckeye fan. There's nothing I could say other than I agree. There's nothing I could say really than I agree. It's 100% true. It should be studied for generations because the fallout of it, once again, the ghost of Bernie passed, and y'all gonna eat that. Right? And once again, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Joe says Hillary Clinton, quote unquote, there's a public face and a private face. I remember that. Right. I'm like I said, I'm going to watch everything unfold, see what these people are talking about. This is not going to look good at all. We'll see what these people are talking about. We'll see. Yeah. The public face and private face. I mean, Kamala really couldn't play that game because we knew enough. Um, but so Hillary just got caught saying it. All of them say that. I would argue that there is a public face and a private face for politicians and policy wonks and political nerds. There is a public face and a private face. I think there's a public face and a private face for people writ large, namely politicians. I would agree with that. What you think there wasn't a public face and a private face for JFK? For LBJ, right? For Reagan, we already know about his superhead ass wife. Oops. Um, yeah, there's a public face and a private. We know there's a public face and a private face for Bill Clinton, right? But you think there wasn't one for Obama? Yeah, no, there was there that. Yeah, I just think she got caught saying the quiet part out loud. That's all. She got caught saying the quiet part out loud. Did half of Americans didn't even know FDR was damn near crippled, right? Public face and private face. So yeah, right. Yeah, public face and private face. Yeah, no, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. Right. And once again, thank you for the super chat, Joe's. Thank you for the super chat. And Buckeye also says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Dims would rather lose than actually be leftist. This is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, a Buckeye fan. That's what I'm saying. All right. That's exactly and so then eat the loss. Don't blame black men, right? Eat the loss. If you're not gonna go all the way to the left, and when I say all the way to the left, I'm not talking about no goddamn urinals in women's restrooms. If fine, let me use a President Obama quote. If of rising tides lift all boats, then you got to show people how their boat is rising. Number one, you got to make sure people have boats and not little dinghies. Not they're not floating on a tire. You got to make sure. Yeah, he had back problems. Shamar says JFK was crippled too. Yeah, he had back problems. Um, yeah, right. You have to show people. I'm telling y'all, they taking the cheap, easier way with the urinals in women's restrooms. Yeah, it's culture war stuff, but it's cheaper, and they don't have to go against their Democratic donors to put urinals in women's restrooms. That tax code is a different. That's a different beast. And maybe there has to be a larger argument about getting money out of politics, but that's not. We know that's not gonna happen. Or at least campaign finance reform. I'm all for campaign finance reform. As I said before, here go your 750 million for president. Do with it what you will, but this is what you get. Ain't no donors, nothing. Every presidential candidate gets, let's say, $1 billion. We agree on the number, and that's what it is, and you make it happen with that. And if we catch a penny coming from outside, you're automatically disqualified and you might be charged. For Senate, let's say it's 25 mil. For House, let's say it's 10 mil. And that's what it is, period. Once again, we catch a penny coming from outside from any donors, that's your ass. Maybe that's the conversation we have to have, because the Dems or the Republicans they're going to try to outfinance each other, and that's that. Now we get into lobbyist and creep stuff, creep-ish, really, right? So yeah, Buckeye fan, no, I agree with this. I agree. Huh? Leon says, Z, I'm gonna go on TikTok and have endless nosebleeds today. Hey, any one of those videos where you see sisters condemning us to death or wishing death on us or mocking and making fun of us and our quote unquote lack of intelligence or our myopic sexist ways, send it to me an email. Send it to me an email, right? Just saying. Yeah. Joe says my damn power went out. It's windy as hell. Yeah, down in South Florida, it's been super windy for the past couple weeks, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I ain't even gonna go tinfoil on y'all. I ain't even gonna do it. Oh wow! And Mr. Shook to you says a parent at my daughter's high school stands outside every morning with a sign that says there are two genders. They jumped him. It made the news. Wow. Joe says I'm in Cali. This is the second time today. That your power went up as a win. Jesus. Yeah. But wow, Mr. Shook to you. Wow. Because that's showing that you believe in peace. The leftists were supposed to be peaceful, right? Wow. And Buckeye also says Trump admitted privately Bernie would be tough. I remember this. I remember this. And thank you for the super chat. I remember this. All right, y'all. Look, Mr. Z got to make a hard stop because we got things to do. We got errands to run. So we will pause right here. Thank y'all for listening in. I was not supposed to stream this long. Thank y'all for listening. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. For the love of God, there's gonna be a lot of non-Manosphere content and Black Manosphere content on this election. I don't think any of us are necessarily surprised outside of, I don't know, the most ignorant, myopic person. Whether you voted for Kamala or not, Trump or not, I don't think any, now the surprise part, I don't think anybody's surprised. That part, I don't think. Um, but yeah, to the left, I say, stop telling quote unquote men to do better or black men to do better. How about you do better? Uh-oh. You're talking to the wrong person. You need to look in that mirror and ask who really should be the one doing better. Just saying. On that note, everyone, um, we'll pause right here. Truly, love, peace, and chicken grease. As I said earlier, y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. Watch everything politically. Get ready. And we will end it out there. And y'all have a great, great rest of y'all day. All right, y'all. Mr. Z out. And Buckeye fan, like I said, I didn't forget about you. Chief Rocka, Mr. Z didn't forget about you. Trill, Mr. Z didn't forget about you. Compassionate, Mr. Z didn't forget about you. And we'll pause right there for real. All right, y'all. Mr. Z out.